It has been a while since we've had some fun with Colonize Please, so what do you guys say we check back in and see how things are going? Oh, what's that you say? Every subcontinent has one nation, and that nation is one province? I think we can manage that. These videos are always a ton of fun to make, and I love seeing the weird shenanigans that the AI get up to when they have these broken modifiers. And if you agree, like the video and subscribe for more. No sponsor today, but I've been working super hard on a very fun alternate history mod for EU4 called Post-Phenum, and it explores a timeline in which Carthage won the Punic Wars. If you want to check it out, the mod and the Discord will be linked in the description, and we also have a huge update coming out on March 8th called New Horizons, so there's going to be a lot to look forward to. Taking a look at our subcontinent map mode, you're going to notice we have an outline here, as well as over here. In each region, there is at least one. That is all of the interesting regions because we got rid of the natives. We got to let them get colonized. It's going to be good, I promise. Ming is here, but the mandate is gone. And I actually forgot about the Far East. So 1 second here. Much better. Yeah, every region, like I said. And it may not be super clear, but you can see here that as long as Colonize Please is active, they will be getting some pretty solid bonuses, including very, very fast colonization. Who are you rooting for? Let us know in the comments down below. Let's turn it on up to speed 5 and unpause. And it's gonna come pretty quick. We're gonna see quite a few provinces expanding quite quickly. Mazdaran, the Mamluks, Mewar, they never change. Ming is going to be doing big things over here. Oirat, Ashikaga, and then we have this. It would appear that Ashikaga formed Japan, released a subject or something, and now they're colonizing Korea because the Koreans just, they can't escape the Japanese. It's literally impossible. Malacca down here expanding quite quickly. I'm very much excited to see how people interact once they get big enough that they can actually border each other and contest each other. Holland is doing all right over here. I imagine that they're going to finish fairly strong considering the fact that they start in a rich area. Their nearest rival is Muscovy, and realistically they're going to be richer than them, so should probably be a boon to them. We do have our first formable, or second formable after Japan, and Persia has entered the fray. And it is worth keeping in mind that provinces are keeping their cores. So anybody who has cores in 1444, they're going to still have them now. So hopefully, we're going to be seeing some rebel stuff popping up. Though it is important to consider that whenever they colonize, the culture and the religion are both assimilated. That's just how colonization works in this game. So we may see some rebels. I'm not 100% sure how that goes, but if we do, it'll make things more interesting. We're about 10 years in. I haven't seen any war yet, but I do think it's inevitable. Persia and Oirat share a fairly sizable border. Mewar is right there, and the Mamluks in Persia have touch tips for quite a while, about like a year or two here. I think we're going to definitely see this happen sooner rather than later. Also Songhai and people, like basically everybody is just starting to touch up borders, so it's only a matter of time. And you got to point it out because it's really funny that this random OPM popped out of Japan, conquered all of Korea, all of Manchuria, and all of like East Siberia. I'm a big fan of that. And we're still real quiet on like the colonial game. There's nobody in North or South America just yet. And finally we have it. 15 years in, the Mams have attacked Songhai. Probably could go either way, though I imagine there's quite a bit more development up here than in sub-Saharan Africa. We'll keep you updated. I'm pretty sure that the war lasted like 2 years and ended inconclusively. I heard the sound. I'm pretty sure the Mamluks had like 10 loans, so they just decided to cut their losses. Meanwhile, borders have filled out over here. There's one province over here, which is actually a wasteland that is still open. Aside from that, everybody's filling in. Mewar was having a ton of rebels, but we haven't seen anybody pop out. I think they might have been like peasant rebels or something like that. So hopefully where things are going to be kicking off soon, we'll be seeing some big wars going on, because we're definitely going to need to keep an eye on like the diplomatic front. People are definitely going to be finding friends. Like for example, Persia, who's allied to Holland and Malacca. Very smart because they can attack basically anybody on multiple fronts. Ming hugboxing themselves because they are silly like that. Congo going it alone, by the looks of it. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it pays off. As is Songhai, actually. Both African nations, minus the Mams. I don't know if they really count. We're not going to count them. But anyways, they are going it solo, as is the Congo. So these boys, brave. Okay, we have Holland here with the diplomatic plays allied to both Mams and Persia, currently beating the tar out of Songhai. Probably going to at least take Gibraltar, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they pushed over into the Maghreb. Kind of expect that. And mid-war, they actually had their alliance with the Mamluks broken off. I was curious what was going on, and then I clicked on over to the political map mode, and yeah, it does not look like the Mams are feeling too good. King of Kings Persia is overpowered. And there you have it. Tons of land over here. Quite a bit of trade going to Holland, and their former friends of the Mamluks are getting beat up on by their other current friend of Persia. So Holland definitely going to be growing quite strong. Like you would expect this, but it's only going to get worse. I think Holland is going to need to get ganged up on if they're going to fall. At least that's kind of my assumption. But Persia isn't the only guy beating up on the Mamluks right now. Colors are a little off, but you can see Congo marching into the Horn of Africa and like Sudan right now, Ethiopia. So yeah, Mamluks are definitely going to spiral. I don't imagine they're going to come back from this. And we're not seeing any New World colonization yet. That needs to be unlocked with tech because they do have a range, Malice. I wanted to make sure that the AI colonized land near them before they, went over to the New World. Makes sense, right? But yeah, Holland, Muscovy, they're all finally bordered up and everybody is touching everybody. For some reason, Mamluks have this land here because Songhai took everything else. I don't know why they went for gross borders, but that's what they did. And now the Mamluks are collapsing due to peasant rebels. So yeah, Mams are probably done. I don't think they're going to make it into the colonial game. But yeah, everybody's trying to core up all the land they're colonizing, so that's why they're not able to take this tech. But once they start getting their stuff cored up, economic base rises, they'll be caught up on admin tech just a few years, and then we'll see the next colonial race, the race to the New World. Ooh, but I gotta bring you boys back for Iran-Shar, a beautiful purple on the map here. Persia has formed Iran-Shar. I think it's just like a cosmetic name or a cosmetic tag, just gives them a new flag and stuff, but very nice. I'm a fan. With that, I'm pretty sure they decided to go Zoroastrian and they have like 0% religious unity because they hate their country, I guess. I don't know. 2%. There you go. And boy, are we seeing some action still. No New World colonies yet, but Iran-Shar and Holland ganging up on Muscovy. Them getting kicked in the teeth. Their capital's down here getting occupied. Holland is doing just fine up here in the north. Muscovy not doing well. Also not doing well. The Mamluks, they're dead basically. And we probably won't see their name after this. I don't doubt it. But they ain't wasting no time. We've got Songhai, Brazil, and then these Japanese guys took basically everything over here. As soon as they got tech, they jumped over into Alaska and just raced down the line. It was actually kind of impressive to see. We'll see if other people get in here. It's definitely going to be a nerf for them, but I imagine they're going to want the land, especially because people are programmed to take exploit expansion in this mod. Otherwise, it wouldn't really make a lot of sense. So we'll see. I imagine that there's going to be a little bit of a tension. Even if there's just like 1 or 2 colonies bordering each other, people will attack for it. So should be good. Meanwhile, Ming said, while I'm here, might as well conquer literally all of Down Under as well as the Spice Islands. But this Japanese guy got 2 provinces over here. Just kidding. It's Sulu. Sulu popped out, I guess. Must be programmed. I don't really know how that works, to be honest. Meanwhile, it's Songhai in this Akamatusu or whatever over here for the most part. But we do have the Dutch landing. And I did check, and Iran-Shar has unlocked exploration ideas as well. So hopefully we'll see some stuff. In the meantime, it looks like the boys of Mewar have formed Bharat. Probably happened a while ago when I missed it, but that is something to keep our eyes on. It's a very nice color. It's a little intense, but I kind of like that. And next nation to get booped on the snoop over here is Oirat with sour yogurt popping out over here. Oirat not looking good, getting dumpstered by, I believe, Iran-Shar just did, and then these guys, or I'm not 100% on it. Either way, they're probably gonna spiral after this, especially considering how strong this Akamatsu, whatever, is. They have so many colonial nations. Granted, about half of them, if not more, are actually disloyal. So probably going to lead to some interesting results eventually. Just like Nova Hollandia in the Dutch East Main colony over here. Definitely going to be contesting at least a little bit with these guys. Oh, and the drama continues. Songhai pushing into Holland, but meanwhile, Holland pushing into Muscovy very heavily because Holland found themselves on a 2-front war. And they're somehow winning it, or at least I think they're winning it. Still hard to say. Songhai does still have a colonial empire, so we'll see what's going on over there. And then meanwhile, these guys have declared independence from their overlord. So maybe we're going to see a little bit of excitement over here in the New World. Oh, shoot. Actually, maybe not. Looks like Holland is not feeling too good. They're getting sieged down, and they did peace out. They ended up taking nothing. By the looks of it. Yeah, it looks like they maybe gave up some land down here, or they took nothing. I don't know. Big war, though. Big war. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. As a freedom-loving American, seeing this makes me shudder. Meanwhile, Iran-Shar over here, I don't think they're doing much to Bharat, but it does look like Malacca is pushed into Bharat. That's kind of sad to see. Yarkand has also popped out of Oirat. Meanwhile, they ate the guys over here. So down but not out, I think. But the Mamluks most certainly out. Yeah, but it's not all so bad. Honestly, we've got California getting dumpstered by Holland here right after they took a bunch of land from this Louisiana nation, as well as up here in Alaska. But now they're full occupied by New Holland, I guess. Maybe they want to take Miami back for the Cubans. And it looks like we've got Tech 10 on our hands because the Netherlands and Russia have both formed like within 5 minutes of each other. And the Songhai is getting dumpstered by the Netherlands. Netherlands is a very strong, powerful formable, and they're going to get lots of trade money because if you don't know, the English Channel it's a pretty solid node. Basically, half the trade of the entire world goes over there, and then the other half goes into Genoa, both of which they control. So they're probably doing okay. Meanwhile, over here, Malacca been real silent, but doesn't look like they're gonna just go this game quietly. They are attacking the Ming. No mandate, by the way, and they are winning. For now, we'll see how things go with this. And meanwhile, the Dutch West Indies actually did take Miami, despite me just kidding when I said it. They actually did do it. And then now New Netherlands is over here, as well as over here, because perfect borders and all that, AI never heard of it. So this is pretty cool. We've got a Mexico that is formed because these guys broke free. And then you're gonna notice over here, we've got New Lubeck in Lubekian West Indies. And I have no idea why, but some reason the Netherlands decided to form the Hanseatic League, which I actually thought was only possible via Lubeck Mission Tree, but they did it. So, okay, that's pretty cool. Shout out the Mamluks, one province minor in the middle of Anatolia, surrounded by the Ruskies. Very funny. And Malacca managed to take 2 provinces from the Ming. Very nice. Down in South America, we have Paraguay here, who's pop free, but they're not the only one. Illinois has joined the party, with California conquering a lot of land. That Japanese minor not doing well, Japan conquering them, and they're losing their entire colonial empire for the most part. It's only a matter of time before, you know, they're gone. Meanwhile, New Lubeck over here touching tips with the other New Lubeck, old New Lubeck, if you will. And the Hanseatic League is pushing down slowly but surely into Africa. Iran Shah, I don't think has really done a whole lot since they beat up on the Mams, who are still there, by the way. But they are beating up on Bharat right now, splitting them with the Ming. So yeah, Bharat probably not going to be doing much. They never got into the colonial game. They were late on technology, and thus they were never able to take some land in the New World. So it's sad to see, but you know, can't really be too surprised. Not everybody can be a winner after all. So California definitely not feeling super well. They've actually lost quite a bit of land to Japan, basically all of California, and I think parts of whatever this is, Arizona. And it looks like Mexico not feeling too good either, with the Hanseatic whatever kind of beating up on them, as is Hanseatic Colombia, who has entered the fray. So yeah, the borders are actually getting a little weirder with the colonial nations conquering a bunch of stuff. These borders in Illinois are just like as disorganized as the state is in real life. So that's that is a thing. Meanwhile, borders in the old world are like steady. The Mamluks are gone, but aside from that, I don't think they've really changed a whole lot, except for maybe Russia taking some land from Oirat, Japan taking some land from these guys, and Bharat getting eaten up. Even Ming got in a little bit of the land down here in southern India, which is just like really funny to see. But meanwhile, Malacca beating up on Ming, or just Me. So yeah, definitely not expecting these guys to do well, and then they are. So it's really cool. We've got a little under 200 years left in the Hanseatic League. No surprise, like I would have mentioned before, way out in front, like almost double this number 2 spot. Iran Shah in the number 3 with a really nice flag. I'm a big fan. Congo in the 4th, Songhai in the 5th, Malacca in the 6th, Ming in the 7th, and despite getting absolutely dumpstered, Bharat is still in the 8th spot. So pretty cool list. We're going to see how things look in a little bit more time. Well, judging by the fact that Ming's name is down here, you can assume that they're not feeling too hot, but I'm not really sure how much more land they've lost. Their name has just moved, so maybe they aren't actually doing worse. I don't really know. Not like Bharat, who is objectively doing much worse, currently losing a war to Ming. So there, keep an eye on that, I guess. Songhai definitely not feeling good. Looks like Congo coming from the south, and the Hansa finally crossing the Sahara, at least partially, to get over here into northern Sahel, whatever this area is called. Russia's still hanging in there. It looks like they've taken over tons of land from Japan. Oirat is a 1 province minor over here. I don't know how. Rebels, I assume. And the New World is very free. Songhai's Brazil has popped free, as has Chile. And then up in the north, California is gone. So, well, I mean, they might as well be. They probably wish they were. Kind of strange to see the Hanseatic colonies taking over the former free independent nations. I won't say free because it's California, but I mean, it's really interesting to see here. I mean, I'm a big fan. Mexico's pretty sad to see, but you know, overall, I like the dynamic of like nations colonizing, those nations popping free, forming formable nations, and then getting conquered by other colonial nations. It's just like the cyclical rate of it happening. It's pretty cool. I like it. And I've seen lines a couple of times, and I'm pretty sure that the Hanseatic League is pushing Russia back, specifically over here in like Central Eastern Europe. Just every once in a while, just chipping away a couple more provinces here and there. And overall, I think, you know, they're just asserting their dominance because they're clearly the #1 power. And again, yeah, by double, 3,400 development almost, which is insane. Well, I mean, you know, including their subjects development and all that, but still, even on their own, they have more development than any other nation in the world. Only followed by Malacca, actually, though once Russia embraces the institution, they will surpass them, as will the Ming. Iran Shah still holding steady around 3,000, with Congo there under 1,000 development for Japan. And Bharat looks like they've grown maybe a bit in development. They must be doing quite a bit of development, but we do have a fully stacked naval hegemon for the Hanseatic League, which I'm pretty sure they had it last time and I didn't mention it. Either way, naval hegemon is still pretty solid. Artillery damage from the back row is good. I mean, it's definitely not nothing. Well, it's 1821. I left for like 30 minutes to let the game run, and Russia and Australia became a thing because Ming decided to have some rebel issues, as well as some Russian issues, I guess. And it's not just Ming that caught Russian hands. Japan seemingly did as well. I think Iran Shah did, because their name used to be like kind of this way and now it's not. And I think that they had these parts of the Caspian. Actually, I know they did, because I think Amal was their capital before. So Russia definitely came out much better at the end than I was expecting. Basically with like peak Russian Empire borders plus like Anatolia and Greece. So man, pretty intimidating, to be honest. So shout out Songhai, able to keep a couple of provinces up here in the Hanseatic League, because the Hanseatic League AI is big dumb. It looks like they just wanted to do colonial stuff, which they did. They got like basically all of North America except for like this, which is a Russian province, I guess, the Russian subject. Weird stuff, man. Mexico is super sad. Definitely not feeling good. Though it does look like an independent Brazil ended up stomping out Hanseatic Colombia, because it was quite big, if I recall. So Brazil ended up doing very good. So shout out Brazil mentioned. And I am a big fan of Mexican Peru. That's a good one. That's a good one. But when it comes to Africans, Congo definitely ended up coming out on top. The South African nation ate a ton of land from Songhai, who got split between them and the Hanseatic League, but again, not a whole lot. I think they took like 3 or 4 more provinces since the last time we looked. Congo definitely took a lot over here, and then I'm pretty sure they expanded up here into Iran Shah as well. I saw them getting dogpiled a few times in the end, and you can tell. Cool to see Malacca growing a bit, though. I think they lost some land to Russia, but they definitely took more Ming land, and they took a lot more Bharati land, so good on them as well. Honorable mention to Sulu, hanging out over here on whatever this island is called. Just chilling, just hanging out like 200 some years. Though I definitely broke something in terms of religion. I think when I spawned Ming, they didn't have a religion, and so then whenever they colonized stuff, they just didn't have one. Same with Japan. My bad. But I don't know, the white's kind of nice. Cool to see Zoroastrian over here in Iran Shah. Again, that's like just vanilla. I mean, obviously this isn't vanilla, but Iran Shah is vanilla, and them converting all the land. That is a thing. It happened. Of course, it is still the age of discovery, but the thing is that everybody has those malices for tech costs, so it's not as bad. Though I am kind of surprised that it never happened, that the Reformation never spawned. Yeah, I don't really know why. I really don't know why. Also, a crusade against Mexico. Very funny. Ortho bros going strong as usual. Fetishists and Sunni over here in Africa, but Sunni South America, that's got a ring to it. But don't worry. The North is all Catholic, except for Shinto Mexico, and then Shinto Russian Alaska taken from a Japanese nation. And of course the Hindu boys over in India. Can't forget about them, as well as the, atheists in the South. We all know about the atheists of the Tamil kingdoms. Culturally, it looks about what you would expect. Lots of Dutch over here, kind of following those colonial names. Saigoku, huge over here in the colonial realm. Very funny. I'm a big fan of that. And Songhai over here, of course. I mean, a lot of it is honestly just going to follow the colonial paths that people took. But aside from that, not really a whole lot. Saigoku over here, I actually didn't know that Ashikaga was going to have the same culture, but I guess that does make sense if they colonized that and they released those other guys. That does make sense. But seeing Oira here definitely reminds you of what once was, and very much is not anymore. We have Hanseatic League well out in front, as I mentioned before, but not quite double Russia. Russia ended up having a crazy amount of growth in the last 100 or so years, with Malacca behind them also incredibly good. Lots of development over in India and Southeast Asia, followed by the Ming, who got absolutely destroyed, but managed to finish the 4th great power, which definitely says a lot about the land over in China. And then Congo, Iran Shah, Bharat, with almost under 1,000 development, and Japan right there within 50 development of them. And it looks like the Hanseatic League decided to change it up and go with economic hegemon instead of naval, which in my opinion is the best, especially if you're playing like really wide, though governing capacity doesn't matter because they all have like unlimited with this mod. But I don't know, pretty cool. I haven't done a Colonize Please video on this channel in like what feels like forever. I think it's been like 6 months. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Very heavily requested. People really like these sort of scenarios. If you have a scenario for Colonize Please or another video, leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, because you're going to be missing out on a ton of content if you don't subscribe. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, I want to tell you sincerely, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.
Special thanks to Kaiser Dar of Acadia, Sheol, Gammas23, Ian Powell, Hannon Fodder, Josh Kopczynski, Agent Rhino, Blonde Damon, Isaiah, Rover, Bubba J, Saranska, Ricardo, Cobalt, Rex, Nathan Albright, and many more.